Hi, everyone. Hello. Welcome to the webinar. My name is Anna. We are going to start in about a minute, hoping that people are still joining us. We so far have 15 people in, expecting a bit more. So 1 minute and we're starting. Okay. Okay, so let's get started. We have 16 people, including me and my colleague, Ira. She's going to be our moderator in the chat. She'll help you with any technical questions and she'll send the links I'll be talking about into the chat box. It's a small group of us today. First of all, I'm speaking English. This is A2 level preparation webinar. If you can hear me okay, if you do understand what I'm talking about, can you type a yes or a plus in the chat box, please? Okay, I see 1 plus. Okay. I'll just say the same thing in Ukrainian, just in case. Ми сьогодні говоримо про підготовку до іспиту А2. І наразі хочу переконатися, що ви добре чуєте, бачите, розумієте те, що я говорю. Okay. Okay, I see some pluses and some yeses. Great. Great. Okay, so let's get started. We have lots of things to talk about. First, I would like to get to know you a bit and tell you a bit about myself, why I am here, and you might be looking at me and thinking, who is this person talking about exam preparation to us? I am a teacher, certified teacher here at Grade Education Center, teaching English for a long time and have the international qualifications, doing webinars, training, and conference speeches as well. Currently working in marketing and also making sure that more people take Cambridge exams in Ukraine and around. And since you're here, I assume you are interested in A2 preparation. So how many of you, can you please type it in the chat box? How many of you or who is going to take an exam soon, an A2 exam? Who's going to take it soon? Pavlo, thank you. Okay, Nikita, yes. Anyone else taking A2 exam? Okay, Denise, thank you. Okay, seems that gentlemen are planning to take exams, ladies too. Okay, Tatiana, yep. Okay, great. Are there any teachers in here? Are there any teachers with us today? Anna also taking the exam. Are there any teachers listening to us? No, I don't see any yeses or pluses. Good, great. Okay, so I'll be speaking English, but if I speak too fast or if you don't understand something, shout out into the chat box, okay? You can either put a question mark into the chat box or raise a hand. This is the tool that you can use in the Zoom, okay? So don't be afraid to ask something if you need to. All right, so what we're going to talk about today, here are the questions that you probably might be asking yourself when you are preparing for A2 key. If you are going to take it and you are thinking of, for example, working abroad in Denmark, perhaps, if I understand the situation correctly, then when you found out that you have to take a Cambridge exam, you might have thought, what in the world is A2 key or KET? Yeah, the KET exam. It's also called that way. We're going to talk about the format and what it is. What do I have to do to get the certificate? What do you have to do? How should you be preparing? What's in the exam? What parts are there? Yes, those are the questions I think you are asking yourself. So one of them is, I will be reading out loud and writing a dictation at the exam, right? Or what should you do in order to understand that Englishman in the speakers who's speaking English, and you have to do some tasks correctly in order to get the points. And then you have to speak. There will be a speaking part. So you will say something like, my name is, and I get up at 7 o'clock. Yeah, I can speak. Lots of things that students have on their mind when they prepare for the exam. Today, I'm going to try to answer some of your questions. That's the plan for today. But of course, there is much more. When you hear the word exam, what does that mean to you? Which of the smiley faces which of the emojis do you have? Do you have the smiley face? Do you have the neutral one, the sad one? Which of the faces is yours? Can you type it in the chat box? What's your association? Or if you have your camera on, you can show it. That would be fun. My face about the exam is like that, because I love exams. I did take some myself. A2 key is not that hard. Nikita, okay. You're not very happy about that, but that's fine. That's fine. We're here to help. Julia, oh, happy Julia. Thank you very much. Okay, great. Oksana, not happy at all. Yeah, it does look scary, the exam. Yeah, it's Cambridge, so lots of things might go not planned. Yes. Vyacheslav, that's a new smiley face, but thank you very much. Okay, Marina, thank you for the heart. All right. Yeah, Anna. And Marina, thank you. Exams, being prepared for an exam, the reason why I'm asking you is being prepared for the exam, in your head, the knowledge. This is half of the success. Another half is your mental state and your attitude towards it. Of course, if you don't know anything and you haven't been preparing, no attitude will help you. But if you have studied, if you have practiced at least a bit, if you have the level, then the right mindset will help you get there too. Let's see how much we know about the A2 key exam. So let's think about the inside of it. There are 4 papers in this exam. If you don't know the format, fine. This is a game to get us started. Just say what you think. How many papers, which means parts, are you going to have in the exam? There are 4 papers in the exam. True, false? Can you type it in the chat box, please? If you don't know, just guess. No one's gonna, it's not anything that has consequences. True. Okay. Any? True. Okay. It's actually, well, formally, there are 4 skills, but the papers or the parts, there are 3 of them. There is reading and writing, it's together, okay? It's reading and writing together as a part. Then there is the listening, and then there is the speaking. So 4 skills, but 3 parts of the exam. And this is how you're going to take it. You're going to take reading and writing first, then you're going to have a break, then the listening, and then the speaking. Or perhaps the order might be different, but those are the parts of the exam. A2 key, the exam, uses everyday English in its tasks. Is it everyday English or some other kind of English? True, false? True. Yeah. Yeah, it is true. Yes. A2K exam is the exam of the basic, we can call it survival English. It focuses around everyday general English, which means that the topics that you will get are all about everyday life and general English that you might have in your courses. If you take some language courses in any course books, this is the first exam that you can get as an adult, the first certificate proving the level that you have, that you can get as an adult. And this is an excellent start to having a Cambridge certificate that says that you have a certain level of English, let it even be A2. And there is a way to go. You have lots of other levels to go to. But still, if it's not, it might not just be for your work abroad. This is just might be your first step. And then the next question, you are tested in reading, writing, listening, and speaking. I think I've answered this one a bit earlier. Yes, so let's say that we all agree that yes, that's true. Reading, writing, listening, and speaking are a part of the exam. You do the speaking test on your own. So you speak yourself. Yes, no, true, false? False, okay. Thank you. Marina, thank you. Yes, okay. So we have some answers. Some of you were right, some of you, you're going to be right soon. So you do the speaking test with the person that is taking the test with you, with a partner. So when you do the speaking, you will be put in a pair with another candidate, and you will have in the room, you will have 2 examiners and 2 candidates. Sometimes you might be a 3, depending on how many people are in your group on the day of your exam. But it doesn't mean that you'll have less time to speak or you'll have different conditions. No, everyone is in the equal situation. You might be talking to 1 or 2 other people that are taking the exam with you. So it's about communication, and speaking is tested also in conditions close to real life, which means that you have to talk to someone like you and show the examiner that you are able to not just say a few sentences that you've learned by heart, but also ask and answer questions at the very basic level. Might sound scary, might sound a bit, challenging, but still we can ask simple questions during the speaking test and get the scores that we need. There are lots of practice activities in the Cambridge English website. The Cambridge English website is the one that you go to when you want to find out the official requirements of the exam. What do you think? Are there any? Yeah, true. Yes. Yes. If you have registered for an exam at our center, or when you register for an exam, you're going to get a letter from our manager saying that you can visit the Cambridge website and get to know the format of the exam and practice. So this is your first place to go. Our site, Grade UA, is also quite a reliable source of information in terms of test format. We have a blog with lots of tips on A2K preparation. We've been writing about it for a long time, and you just go to Grade UA blog and read all about the exam, the tips, the strategies, and so on. We do also have some more that I'm going to show you today, something more to do with A2K, and then we're going to see how it will help you with your exam preparation. A2K helps you prepare for higher level exams. I'll answer it for us. Yes, it does. A2K is your first step, as I've already mentioned, on your pathway, on your stairs to the higher levels, to the levels that you want. So that's the test. That's how much we know, and it's fine. Let's move on to the format of the test. So it consists of 3 parts: reading and writing, listening and speaking. Reading and writing is the longest part. It lasts for 60 minutes. So you're going to sit down and write the exam for 60 minutes. It does have 30 questions for reading, which makes it 5 tasks. And we're going to look at them today. And then, my camera's off. Why is it off? And then the writing part has 2 tasks for you as well. Then the listening, which lasts for half an hour and has 25 questions. There are 5 parts in it. And the speaking, which lasts 8-10 minutes, 2 parts where you have to talk to the examiner and to the person next to you, to another candidate. It is important to know the format, and the better you know what to expect during the day, the exam day, the more prepared you are. So when you are preparing yourself, make sure that you read again, make sure that you remember what the tasks are so that you don't have to spend time inside of each part remembering what it's going to be about. So make sure that you do enough tasks that will help you get to know the format better. Now we're going to go through the format of the test, and sometimes I'm going to show you the strategies and ways to practice. The big question that I'm sure you have asked yourselves, correct me if I'm wrong, the big question is whether you are ready for the test or no, whether you have the level to the test or no. Let's say it that way, have you asked yourselves, do I have the level of the English I need? Have you asked yourselves that question? Yeah. Yes. Every day. That's good. That's good. So in order to understand the level that you have, a good idea would be to do a level test. A level test, you can find it at the Cambridge English website. You will get the email from us with that link. Or there are lots of sites that will say, find out your level. If you're studying with the teacher, he or she will do that for you too. But understanding your level is important. So the other question that you're asking yourself probably is, am I ready for the test? And we're going to help you answer that question because we have the official materials provided by Cambridge English that I'm showing today, and we have developed our very own interactive test, which asks you whether you are ready for an A2 key exam or no. And I'm going to show you what it looks like, and then you're going to have a chance to try it yourself because that's a completely free solution that we've created for our candidates and students. And then I'm going to tell you more about it a bit later. So let's look at the tasks and the format. The reading and writing, the biggest part, starts with a short 6 text task where you have to read a note and choose one sentence that best describes this note. This is about understanding generally the message on the note, usually. For example, if we take a look at number 2, Ben. Yes, hi Ben. I've booked concert tickets for both of us online. Can you give me the journey? Can you give me the money this afternoon when I see you? Tim. And then there is ABC, the sentence that you have to choose that best describes this message. So which one would you choose? Let's try and do this one together. And let's see why. B. Okay. Yes. Okay. C. Okay, so I've booked concert tickets. Can you give me the money this afternoon? Yes. So the first one's not right. Tom thinks Ben should look on the concert website. There's nothing that's saying that. B, Tim hopes that Ben will be able to come. He didn't say he hopes. He said, when I see you. When I see you means that this is when, when they definitely meet. So answer C is right here. Yes. So what to do when you want to get this task right? There are certain strategies, and these are the strategies that we've created from our own experience, as we've been teaching exam preparation for many, many years now. And we are developing our very own online course that is called A2 Key Exam Preparation course. We're still thinking about the name, but that's probably it. So that's an A2 Key Exam Preparation course online on the platform, the self-study one, where you'll be able to cover the tasks yourselves and study the strategies. So this is a little teaser for you, and let's look together at what kind of strategies you can use in order to do this task. So first, we'll look at the text, and here is the example, and think what kind of text this is. So this kind of task involves short notices coming from different places. So you can see it somewhere on a website, in a park, in the phone, in an airport, or anywhere else in real life. And then you read the sentences and you compare with the text, and you have the same idea. You find the sentence that has the same idea. Not the same words, but the same idea. Okay, that's different, and that's very important. And then you read your answers again and check that this matches. So this is how we read them and see if they are what we need. Okay, so just a simple strategy. Generally, in the exam, the very first strategy that will work for you with any task is very simple, obvious, but people forget it sometimes. Read the instructions. That's the first, before you even do all of that, read the instructions. If you need to, underline the words in the instructions. So if you feel that you can't focus, if you feel that you're, losing the meaning of what they want from you, just read the instructions and underline. If you're doing it on a computer, you're going to have a highlighter that will help you do that. So make sure that you are okay and you know with the what to do, and then you get going. And then the examiners, the invigilators, the people who do the exam for you in our center, they will be able to help you with the technical issues, but they won't be able to help you, to translate something or to help answer something. They can't do that, but everything else, of course, yes. So make sure that we know what we're doing. This is the example of a similar task that we've just seen, but from our online test, which is completely free for students. And you can go right now, even today, while you're watching, type a2keygradeonline.com in your browser, or just click on the link. We're going to send it into the chat box right now. Yes. So you can go to A2keygradeonline and do the test, which will have such a task, which is similar to the exam format. So task 1 here asks us, choose the correct answer. In our case, this is a screenshot. It won't do anything. But when you go to the site, it will automatically check your answer. It will give you the right or wrong answer, and it will give you the comment from the teacher and the translation if necessary. Once again, I'm speaking English. I know it's not easy. So if you need some translation or explanation, shout out in the chat box, okay? But this is the test that we've created and launched recently, and lots of people are doing it, and they get the result at the end instantly. So you do the tasks for many parts, for many parts, for all the part, for reading and writing and listening. No speaking part because it doesn't, the real exam doesn't involve computers, real people only. So reading and writing and listening, and then you get your score automatically at the end, and you get it onto your email, and you get the recommendation whether you should be, whether you are ready to go and you can take the exam, whether you do need to do some exam prep, or sorry, you need to work on your English first. We do say it honestly. We don't want anyone, you know, wasting money and trying 3, 4, 5 times or however many times they want. Better to prepare and then to take the test. So see for yourself what the conditions are, but this tool that I'm going to be showing more, this will definitely help you understand whether you are ready for the exam, whether you need your level of English improved. Let's move on to part 2. We're not going to stop for a long time here. In reading and writing part 2, you're going to have 3 texts about people. Usually these are the texts about people, and then you have questions where you have to choose the correct answer, basically match the description to the person. So the question will sound like, who writes both a magazine and a blog? You read and you find it in the text. The general tip, the very common rule for all Cambridge exams, including this one, when you have the task first in your paper, on the computer in the paper, if the task comes first, you read the task first. If the text comes first, you read the text first. Okay, so in our case, if we look at it, it doesn't come first or last, it's, you know, higher or lower, but still read the task, read the questions, and then find them in the text. In tasks like that, you do not go on reading the text, you know, trying to remember everything, trying to understand everything. No, you don't try to understand every single word. Your task is just to do this much. So you read who writes both a magazine and a blog, you go and see it and find in the text who's speaking about magazines and blogs, and then you choose the name and then you check it. Then the second one, who says that studying and writing, and don't get stuck. If you don't know one question, don't spend too much time trying and doing it. Skip it, which means go on. Yeah, go on, and then you're going to find it later. You're going to come back later. Better to do what you know first and then come back if you have time, than get stuck and not do half and lose points. Okay. So let's move on to reading and writing part 3 then. Part 3 is a long text. This is usually the general topic text. Here we have just a little bit of it, the text about dancers, and then the questions, multiple choice. We call them ABC. Yes, you choose the correct option. You choose the correct answer. This is about the details of the text. And again, here you have the text first and then the questions usually in the paper. So you read the text quickly, then you look at the questions, you come back and you find the answers. That's all the strategy here. Read the text, don't get stuck on the words you don't know, just, you know, go on reading and try to understand what you know. Then look at the questions, go back and try to find the answers. They are usually in the order. The questions and the answers in the text are usually in the same order, which means that that's going to be easier for you to find information. Reading and writing part 4. Part 4. This is the text where you have to fill in the gaps with the correct word, and you have the words given. So the text here tests your knowledge of grammar or vocabulary. Previous tasks, the tasks that we looked at, reading, writing, part 1, part 2, part 3, those were about the reading, as we may call it. This is about reading and grammar vocabulary. So this is about words. Of course, you cannot learn all the words in the world, but there are lists of words on Cambridge website that you can look at, the topics that you should have at this level, and then do the task. The strategy here You read the text, you read the first paragraph. You read before the gap and after the gap. Before the gap and after the gap, and then you choose the correct answer. So this is, let's look at this task and the strategies in a bit more detail. And these are the strategies from our course that we're developing. This is years and years of experience for us that we have. So we read the text quickly for the general idea. Then we read the whole sentence with the gap. Read before the gap and after the gap. Then you find the correct answer. Think why the other answers are wrong. This is very important. You cross out. Sometimes you know for sure, you definitely know that out of the three answers, one is definitely not right. One is definitely not right. For example, this one, yes. And then you have two, and that makes it easier. And then you think why one or the other wouldn't fit. Then when you answer all the questions, read the text again and check. And we pay attention to the words with their meaning and words in phrases, not just separate words. That's very important. Okay. We don't have any questions. If you do, please type them in the chat box. Part 5, also about grammar and vocabulary. Here, you will have to write in one word. You do not have any options. So it should come from your head. And this is oftentimes, this is one of the most challenging tasks for students because they have to choose the words from their knowledge. You know, if you have ABC, knowledge, deduction, or luck. Those are the three techniques to be used. That's just, you know, teacher's joke. But in this case, knowledge, that's it. Sometimes luck if you just come up with a word and it fits. Anyway, so fill in the gaps. And this is the task where you also have to do to remember some grammar and vocabulary. For example, if you read, you will have the example in the task here, yes? And then let's read the first one together and let's see if we can do it. Okay, let's try and do it together. Yesterday morning, we went to lovely beach. Let's think together. Do you need a noun, a verb, noun imennik, yes, verb дієслово, a pronoun, that's like I, you, me, they. Якщо я скажу займенник, то займенник. That maybe article, preposition, article. What do you need here? That's your first question. Second thought, okay, if I need this, what could it be? So can you tell me what the answer is here? We went to beach, to lovely beach. Okay, thank you, Nikita, for your answer. Any other? Okay, in this case, it will be a lovely beach. Yeah, this is the countable noun that you're describing, and you have the adjective before it. So you can say some lovely beach. You're not saying any specific, you're not saying that I'm talking about any specific beach, to a lovely beach. Yes, you were near. Yes, that's true. Okay. Yeah, and so on and so forth. So that's the task, the strategy here. Read the text to understand its general idea first. Ignore the gaps. So what we just did was just a small part, an example. Don't do it like that. At the exam, read the text first, understand the general idea. Then read again and see if you can think of the words in the gap. And then think of the words, put them in the gaps, see what they look like. I mean, what the text looks like with them, and see if you can do anything to change, and if anything else comes to your mind. This is one of the most challenging tasks, and I advise practicing for that, practicing a lot. Our online interactive test does have a task like that. A little bit easier because you have the options to choose from, but still here you will have to select the words from the drop-down list and then check your answers. So again, if you haven't done the test yet, go and see yourselves. Are there any people here who have actually done this test, who have been to the site to Key Grade Online? Are there any people here who have seen that? Okay. Well, if you haven't seen it, that's a strong advice. Go and do the test. You can do it as many times as you want. Of course, once you've done it once, you know all the answers and everything. If you want to practice, do it, and then perhaps study, and then come back in a month or so and do it again. Perhaps this way you're going to have a bit more result here. Okay, let's move on. Reading and writing part 6. Part 6 is about writing already. So this is when you write an email to your friend, and you have 3 areas to focus on, and you have the task to write 25 words or more. This is also a challenging task often if you haven't done it before, and there are certain strategies that you can use here. Read the instructions. As I have already said, this is the key and the most important task in any part in any task. Think about the message, underline what you need to read about. When we conduct exams, we see at once the people who have been preparing for exam, what they do first, they open the paper or they open the program in the computer and they start highlighting or underlining what they have to do. This is just a mechanical thing, but it helps you focus a lot and do what you have to do. Make notes. You will be allowed to make notes in a separate in a question paper. You need to answer all the 3 prompts. That's very important, and you will write your final email and the words again 25 or more. You cannot write less, you can write more, but don't write a lot more because it won't help you. It will add to it will add certain mistakes. So don't try to write 100 and think that it's going to help you get a better score. No, 25 or more, let's say 25, maximum 40, not more, but 25, 30 is the optimal number. In our site, in our test, we do have some practice for the email, the general email structure that you can get, and you can learn lots of good phrases from here. You put these phrases in the order, you check, you get the answer, and you can use lots of things from here, the structure, for any email that you write in A2 Key exam. So go and see and try. Reading and writing part 7. This is the writing task as well. This is the picture story that you have to write, the story that you have to write from the pictures or the email. So the task will tell you write the email story on your answer sheet. So we have 3 pictures and we think what's happening and we write on a separate answer sheet here. When you do such a task, the strategies, the questions you might be asking yourselves, and this is also part of our course that's coming out in the nearest future, we can say. Did you write about all 3 pictures? Did you write more than 35 words? Did you use words to link ideas, and, but, or so, linking words? Did you use words to show when things happen? And of course, reread it and edit and see if if there's something you can correct. We've seen that already. Let's move on to listening. In the listening, the first task asks you to listen and choose the correct picture. This is the task that often candidates are fine with. You will listen to different situations and choose the correct picture that shows what's going on. Part 2, you will have the questions, the kind of a structure with the table with the questions, and you have to write one word or a number or a date. So you have to hear a number or a date or a word or a word. And this is not word by word what they are saying. So this is what you have to listen to and kind of make a conclusion here. So in this case, and that's very important, when you hear the instructions and in the listening part, you will read and hear all the instructions. And that's not too much. Read and hear. You will hear the instructions and then you will take your time to read all the words, everything, and try to predict what you're going to hear here. Then you listen first time, you write something that you think is in the gap, then you listen for the second time and you check your answers. You will listen twice every time, every listening. You read the instructions, you listen first time, try to see if you have heard something, listen the second time and check yourself. If we talk about the task, looking into the task that we have, this is what the test part in our site looks like. You will listen, you can look at the script there. So it's still a training mode, not a test mode. And then you have the task where you put in the words. The system automatically checks it and gives you the answers and the teacher's comments as well. Listening part 3, I'll just quickly talk about that. That's not the most challenging usually part. However, it depends on every individual person. Of course, if you need more work on listening, then everything might be a challenge. So here you have one situation and you listen, answer the questions and choose the correct answer. Kind of multiple choice listening task. You had the reading multiple choice. Here you have the listening ABC, choose the correct option task. Another multiple choice, but different. Here you have one situation and you have 5 questions about the same situation. Here you have different situations every time. Every time you hear somebody talking to somebody and you have to choose what they're talking about. But this is more or less general idea that you have to understand. In this case, it's going to be a detailed understanding, but this one is general, the message. Part 5, tricky a bit. You have a person, 2 people talking, and they are discussing something, the plans or what's going on in their, life or something, and you will match people to what they're going to do or bring in this case, or where they're going to go, depends on the content, on the listening. So you have the names and you match them to the things. And pay attention, be very attentive that there are usually more options than you need. So in this case, we have 5 names, but we have 8 objects, 8 food items. So make sure that we don't use every. That's the trick. That's the distractor. That's the thing that, you don't need, but might get us a bit challenging here. Moving on to the speaking part. The speaking is when you, as I've already mentioned, talk to the examiner and the other candidates, and there will be 2 tasks. In the first task, they will ask you questions about yourself, and they will ask you some general questions in turns. They will give you some prompts and you will just talk to the examiner. In the second part, you will talk to each other with another candidate and also with the examiner. And you will get the pictures, the visual support, the pictures, and you will talk about your likes, dislikes, and explain why or why not you like something in your life. Again, the topics are general life. So make sure that you can talk about basic things like family, your job, clothes, food, traveling, everything basic that usually is studied at these, elementary level, which is A2 at school. What's your hobby? things like that. I mean, that's not the question they will surely ask you, but the hobbies is one of the topics for sure that to look at. Some general advice for speaking. Listen to the questions carefully. If you didn't hear the question, that's not the end of the world. You can ask the examiner to repeat. That's okay. So listen carefully. Don't think about anything else but just that question. Try to give details, not one-word answers. And that's a very common thing, that we try to give a full answer, not one word. Like, do you like cakes? Yes. Do you work? No. That's not the answer at the exam. So try to say the whole sentence, okay? And yeah, the tip, it's like, you know, a secret tip, not the formal one. Examiners really want you to succeed, and that is true. And they will, of course, they are trained and they follow their standards, but they are on your side, which means that they cannot tell you or help you anything, but they will make sure that they create the atmosphere and that they will let you show what you know in as much way as possible. Okay, so don't think that the examiner is your enemy. The examiner is a human being that is there to help you get your certificate by showing what you know. Okay, so this is what we can say about that. Once again, the test. Make sure that you go and see yourself and try and answer the questions whether you are ready for the A2 key exam or no. There are lots of great things to look at there, to practice, and then there is instant result, which means after you've completed the test. If you get to the result that you are not ready for the test and you need to improve your English, do go and see the courses that we have at our center. You will need to upgrade your English, and very soon we're starting new groups that will allow you to get your level a bit higher, because you need an A2, not A1 level to take the exam. So at our center, we run courses that are online, offline, any level you need, and different schedules, different study options. So go and see yourself. We are partners of the Cambridge University. We are the preparation center for Cambridge exams, the official one, which means that when you study with us, we do have reliable methodology system. Our teachers are certified, and lots of experience in that area as well. When you know that you're ready for the exam, you will go to that link, Grade UA ESOL, and register for your A2 key exam. Our center is the biggest one for exams in Ukraine and the region. We run A2 key exams every month, computer-based and paper-based. You will get your results. If you do a computer-based version, you will get your results in 2 weeks online, and in 4 weeks if you do it in paper. Our managers will tell you anything you need to know about the registration process, the organizational part, when to arrive, what to take. There are certain requirements in Ukraine for the A2 key exam in terms of documents. You're gonna need your passport, you're gonna need to send it to us in advance. There are some things that you need to know before, and of course we follow all the health procedures and recommendations, healthy procedures as well. And the certificate comes 6 or 8 weeks. The good news with A2 key certificate is that even if you didn't get enough points for an A2 level, you will still get a certificate if you got points for A1. Okay, so there's a small chance that if you don't get A2 level, there are certain points that you have to get in the exam. You still get a certificate, but with an A1 level. Of course, if you're planning to work in Denmark, and I'm sure there are people here who are planning to work in Denmark, and that's why you need this certificate. Of course, you will need to have A2. So take it again. But if you are just starting and you want to prove your level and see that you can do it, this is the great this is the great test to take and to prove, to have the independent proof that you can do lots of things in English already at the level A2. I'm ready for your questions. We have about a couple of minutes. If you need anything, you can ask in English or in Ukrainian. So feel free to ask anything in the chat box, okay? But let's do it in the chat box because we don't hear each other here, okay? So if you do have questions, please chat box and I will answer them right now. No questions. When there are no questions, they say that either everything is clear or nothing is clear. I hope everything is clear for you. These are my contact details if you have any questions about A2 key, about the test that I showed you, about anything else. And these are the contact details for Great Education Center. There is one more thing, a very important one that I would like us to discuss. We're going to launch, as I've already mentioned, the course, A2 key exam preparation course online on our platform, on our very own platform. And we are looking for people who would like to take the course in the first group, in the first row, okay? So if you're interested in getting the course free in the first day, say first week, okay, week, please make sure that you read our email. We're going to send you the email after the webinar with the materials, with the recording, and with this information that we are looking for people who want to try and do the course once we launch it. I cannot say that it's going to be tomorrow, but in the near future, we're going to launch it. If you are available, if you are interested, read the email, fill in the form, and we're going to contact you once the full A2 key exam preparation course is available. For now, if you have your exam soon, please go to the Cambridge English website, read all the requirements, and do our online test. And good luck at your exam. Anna, you raised a hand. Yes, Anna raised a hand. Anna, you want to ask something, yes? No. Okay. Anna, if you want to ask a question, please type it in the chat, okay? You can swipe. I see that you're on your phone. You can swipe Zoom left or right, and then you're going to see the chat, okay? Which is more important in speaking, fluency or accuracy in A2 key exam? Oh, that's a great question, Vyacheslav. Thank you. Fluency. Definitely fluency. Do not be afraid of making mistakes. People at this level always make mistakes. Doesn't matter which language you are learning, at this level you will be making mistakes. It's better to say 5 sentences but with mistakes than one correct one, okay? So make sure that you're speaking and you're not afraid. That's very important. Yes. Thank you, Anna. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, nice to see here the comments. Anna, you raised a hand. Yes. Is that something, Anna Popova? Is that, do you need me to unmute you? Do you want to ask something? No? Can you show me in the camera? Is that okay or no? No. Okay. All right. So thank you all very much. Good luck at your exam. Take the test, learn English with us, upgrade your English, or take the exam with us at our center and get your certificate, which will help you achieve your goals in life. Thank you very much. Thank you, Astap. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Have a great evening. Thank you. Thank you, Nikita.